First we have the Orca, which spawn in cold oceans. They are passive until damage, at which point all nearby orcas will attack as well. They can jump out of the water and break through ice. When near an orca, players will really get the orca light effect, which increases your attack speed. The full list of their prey is on the weak. Then we have the gorilla, which spawn in jungles. Males are bigger and females are smaller but darker. If one is attacked, they will fight back, and nearby gorillas will join in to help them. They can eat leaves to find bananas and restore their hit points. They can be tamed by dropping bananas near them. When they're tamed, they will defend you. You can order them to stay or wander, but they can't follow you. They can be named Donkey Kong, DK, Harambe, or Funky Kong to get special Easter egg textures. Then we have the Lobster, which spawn underwater in beach biomes. They are normally red but can be blue, half red, yellow, or super rarely black or white. They will attack via pinching. Then we have the Hammerhead Shark, which spawns in warm oceans. It will target creatures below half health as well as tropical ocean squids. It will circle their prey to scope them out, and a hammerhead may sometimes lose a tooth when attacking the prey. Then we have the Capuchin monkeys, which spawn in jungles. They can be fed bananas to tame them. When they're tamed, they can follow, stay, and wander. They're also able to use ranged and melee attacks to defend their owners. They can be put on their shoulders while they'll throw stones at targets. They can be fed eggs to heal them. They can be bred with maggots, and they'll sometimes drop a banana peel when eating a banana. Then we have the moose, which spawn in snowy tundras and snowy taigas. They are very dangerous if attacked. They'll often tussle with other moose for dominance. Every 7 to 10 days, the moose have a chance to drop one of their rare giant antlers, and they will take 3 to 5 in-game days to regrow said antlers. They will naturally defend their young from predators, and they can be bred with dandelions. They can also get snow on their back during a snowstorm or by covering it with a snow layer. This is removable with a shovel. The snow, if not placed by a player, will melt if in water, rain, or a hot biome. Then we have the Raccoon, which spawn in plains and forests. They will beg for food if a player is holding it in their hand. They will often steal from chests and barrels. If the raccoon is given food and it's nearby water, it will wash it underwater before eating the food. You can tame a raccoon by getting it a chicken egg near water. The raccoon will wash it, eat it, and then have a chance to become tame. They can be made to sit, follow, or wander. They can be bred with bread, and on death they have a chance to drop their raccoon tails. Raccoons can be given colored bandanas with carpets. These are removable with shears. They will also occasionally steal from villagers. Then we have the elephant. These guys spawn in savannas, and they have 3 variants. They can be tusked, non-tusked, or calves. A tusked elephant will attack any player that attacks a herd. If a player feeds a non-tusked elephant or calf an acacia blossom, it can be tamed. Tusked elephants can only be tamed when they are calves. They will attack with their trunk and by stomping on their enemy. They will stand up and tear leaves off trees to find acacia blossoms. Tamed elephants can be ridden, have chests placed on them for storage, and have carpets placed on them for decoration. These can be removed with shears. If you right-click an elephant with a green carpet, it will gain shades. Feeding a tamed tusked elephant wheat while riding it will make it do a charge attack, which will hit any mobs in attack. Tamed elephants can be bred with acacia blossoms, and occasionally, wandering traders in warm biomes will ride elephants. I cannot personally find this, but here is a picture of what it would look like. Then we have the snow leopard, which spawn in snowy mountainous areas. Their favorite prey are sheep. They will arch their back before leaping at their prey, and they can also use their claws for close combat. Their kills often yield extra drops. They cannot be tamed, but can be bred with goose ribs. Next is the crow, which spawn in forests and plains. They will circle fields and damage crops. Carved pumpkins are enough to scare away any crows from a small field. When approached, the group of crows will scatter and fly away. They can be tamed by throwing them pumpkin seeds. When tamed, they can be made to sit, wander, follow, or gather items. When it picks up an item, when told to pick up items, it will look for a container nearby with an item frame on it that matches the item they picked up. When it's at the follow, it will fly around their owner for a bit and then land on their shoulder. You can remove them via sneaking. They will peck at things that attack their owner, and their pecks do extra damage to the undead. Then we have the Mantis shrimp, which spawn in the reefs of warm oceans. They have 3 color variants. They have strong fists that launch enemies back and even break blocks. They are the predators of tropical fish, squid, guardians, and shulkers. They can be tamed by feeding them 10 to 30 tropical fish. If they're out of water for more than 5 minutes, it will begin to dry out. However, this can be prevented by giving a tame mantis shrimp a water bucket while sneaking. Tamed mantis shrimps can follow, sit, wander, or break blocks. If you sneak, right-click a mantis shrimp while holding a block, the shrimp will seek out and break any blocks matching the one it holds. They can be healed with fish, and they can be bred with lobster tails. Then we have the emu, which spawn in badlands and savannas. They can have blue throats, white throats, or be albino. When attacked, they'll initially flee, however, some will return to rip and tear at their prey. They dislike foes and will sometimes attack skeletons. They can be bred with wheat, and they will sometimes lay large blue eggs that can be used to hatch the baby emu. They will drop emu feathers on death. Then we have the Tasmanian devil, which spawn in temperate forest biomes. They will sit and bask in groups. When they attack rabbits or chickens, all nearby Tasmanian devils will join in. If they are fed rotten flesh, they will unleash a howl that scares away all nearby monsters for a short time. They cannot be tamed, but can be bred with any kind of meat. Next is the kangaroo, which spawn in savannas and badlands. They can be tamed when you give it a carrot. They can be bred if fed dead bushes. When fighting a mob, the kangaroo will help you fight. You can right-click it to tell it to stay, wander, or follow, and you can shift right-click to open its inventory. You can give it a chestplate, helmet, and sword. They will use these helmet, chestplate, and sword when fighting for extra armor and attack damage. If you give it a carrot, it will eat the carrot to regen its HP. Then we have the Cachalot Whale, which spawn in lukewarm, cold, deep oceans. They will hunt squid with echolocation. When a squid is found, it will speed up and open its mouth and ram into its prey. It may drop a tooth during this process. It can break ice when moving and boats and other wood charging. Rarely albino whales can be found, which are much stronger than these other whales. Orca whales love to eat baby cachalots, and during thunderstorms they may spawn washed up on beaches. If you push it back into the water without hurting it, it will have a chance to reward their saviors with hamburgers. Then we have the leafcutter ant, which spawn in jungle biomes in colonies of up to 20. Workers harvest leaves and are visible outside the anthill. The queen can only be summoned by stomping on the hill. Queens are much larger and stronger, and there's usually only one per colony. If a queen has less than 10 ants and there's a queen present, there is a chance for every 5 leaves harvested to create another worker ant. Under the mound, a network of leafcutter ant chambers, which ants use to convert their leaves to fungi. The fungi is called Gonglidia. It is the only things the ants will farm and eat. You can eat it for loss of saturation. It can be obtained by right-clicking a fungal covered cheaper block, but ants will become hostile during this process unless there is a shroom light nearby. You can feed this to ants to heal them, and to the queen to increase the number of ants in a colony. It can be fed to an ant to pacify all the ants in a nearby area. If a chamber block is broken, there is a rare chance of it dropping a leafcutter ant pupa, which can be used on dirt or grass to create a brand new colony. Next is the bald eagle, which spawns in wooded mountain biome. It will dive and grab salmon out of nearby lakes, and they'll also attack rabbits. When attacking larger creatures, it will prefer to circle, slash with them with its talons, and then repeat this process. It can be lured and tamed with fish oil. When a falconry glove is held in the player's main or offhand, the glove can be used to pick up eagles. To launch an eagle, simply punch, and if an eagle is launched when staring at a mob, the eagle will fly to it, attack it, and return if it survives. If you give an eagle a falconry hood, the eagle will obey the direct command of its owner. If it flies over 150 blocks, it will attempt to return. You can also sneak to stop controlling the eagle, and the hood is removable with shears. It can be healed with fish and bred with rotten flesh. We have the tarantula hawk, which spawn in deserts. These guys love to attack spiders. They will swoop in to sting the spider, then fly around when it is completely immobilized, drag it away, and bury it underground. It will inflict a debilitating sting effect, which paralyzes arthropods and damages non-arthropods until they are at half HP. It can be tamed by feeding them 15 to 25 spider eyes. Two tamed tarantula hawks can be bred if fed fermented spider eyes. When bred, wasps will seek out a spider and lay a baby in its carcass. They can be healed with flowers, and they drop tattered tarantula hawk wings on death. The tarantula hawk has a nether variant. Finally, for the neutral moths, we have the Frilled shark. These spawn in deep oceans. They will hunt for blobfish and squid by luring them in with their reflective teeth. It uses its serrated teeth to apply the exsanguination effect, which will rapidly drain health. It may lose a tooth while attacking, and it can be placed in a bucket of water. If it is under 10 blocks of water pressure, it will be slower and discolored. If you name a frilled shark Capuchin, it will gain a special Easter egg skin.